Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. Hello, my precious pod squad. How are you all doing today? How are you feeling? As you can see, we are in the car yet again. If you are not watching this, but you are listening, thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for tuning in, even if it's just audio. My OGs, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in and giving me an opportunity to show you what this podcast is all about. I know we have had a couple weeks where we did not have an episode drop, but you guys, I have literally had so much going on. One thing at a time, okay? One thing at a time, one day at a time. And I am big on no stress, especially being in my pregnancy. I do not have time to stress. I do not have the luxury to stress. If you think that stress is something that somebody absolutely needs in order to survive on a day-to-day basis, I do not know, but I do not think that way. Okay, so I want to lead my life non-stressful as possible. And so if I just have so much going on, you guys know I am a one-woman team, recording, editing, scheduling, like not even just for the podcast, but for my personal content, for my the other content that I do, and for the podcast as well. And then I still have everyday 2-day life as a normal regular schmegular person. So I do not just have the luxury of just doing one thing in its entirety, and that being my sole focus. Like if I could just record or sit down on a couch and record and talk, and that be my the purpose of what I do, and I don't have to worry about the editing, I don't have to worry about the scheduling for stuff to be put. If there was just less things that I had to worry about, and this just being in front of the camera was the only thing that I had to worry about, I would be able to record 1 million episodes in 1 week, and then I could sit around and chill for forever. But I don't have that luxury, and like I said, I am a one-woman show. So when things get tough, when there's too much on my plate, I have to decide what stuff needs to go, what's going to stay, what am I going to focus my attention on. And really, I don't even know where these past 2 weeks have been. I know it's just been getting a little bit more settled in the house, getting myself together because I have been sick. So I don't know if you can hear it, but in my voice, I am coming off of being sick. I've just finished my last antibiotic that my doctor prescribed me. So it's just been a lot going on. Sickness, holidays, family, it's just everything. So I'm just still doing what works best for me, but at the end of the day, that comes at sacrificing a week of podcasting. All right, so we're gonna get this thing rolling. Like I already asked, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? How has the past couple weeks that I have not posted a podcast episode been for you all? I know we did not do a how at the end of every month, if you've been here, that we do, what did we accomplish in the month of X, and then what do we want to accomplish in the following month that is to come. So I know that we did not do one of those for November. So I hope you guys are, keeping note and track of what you are accomplishing and what you did accomplish when you look back on November, and then what you want to accomplish in December. I'm not going to do an episode on that just yet, because I feel like I don't know, maybe I will I don't know, but I just feel like I want to be sitting down somewhere peaceful. Yes, I can drive, I can talk, all of that, but at the end of the day, I really want to make sure that I really want to make sure it's something cozy that you can, grab your hot chocolate, we're in the season, grab your hot coffee, your hot cocoa, whatever, sit down on the couch with me and talk or listen. But, since I feel like I'm driving, it's kind of a little bit more out of place and not as intimate. So I want to save that episode for when I do a podcast in my house, which I'm so nervous to do. I don't know why, but I think it's because for the past few several episodes, I've had a podcast set up in my apartment, and it was just so beautiful. It was so intimate. It was so cute. It was the whole entire moment for the podcast. And since I don't have that, I kind of like, I don't want to say I don't want to do it, but I'm just a little bit more reluctant to do it because it's not visually appeasing to me. And so I don't know, like, I don't want to do something that I don't feel like my surrounding is giving that type of energy. So I don't know. We'll see when I do officially decide to do a podcast episode in the house where I'm going to do it at. Like, it may just be at my content creation, like, vanity desk / mirror. I don't know. But obviously you can see, well, I don't know if you can tell that my surroundings are different. Yes, I'm in the car, but I'm in a different vehicle than what I was podcasting in. I officially got rid of my Kia Sorento. And I think now that I'm thinking about this episode is going to be about letting go of the things that are holding you back. Letting go of the things that can potentially lead you, or that's holding you back from the success that you could have had you let it go. We're so worried about holding on to, this idea of what we want for ourselves, or, the looks of what this gives me and how I want to be perceived, instead of what is going to be best for me financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, and just all around, for my sake. So I'll tell you the story, okay? I have not been so much as, financially sound in the past. And, when you live, you learn, and when you learn, you do better for, the next time the situation arises, right? So I say that to say, like, growing up, when I first got my first car, I didn't need a cosigner. I didn't need anything. I think I put down like $500 or even $1,000 on my first car. It was used. And who have you. And, almost every year, I just about got a new vehicle. Whether it was used, whether it was brand new, I was getting me a new car. But at the end of the day, like, I did not realize what that was doing long term. And so I realized recently that that's not always good. If you are going to constantly return a vehicle and get a new vehicle, whether there's something wrong with the vehicle or not, you need to look at a different plan for that type of lifestyle. I don't want to say lifestyle, but for that type of, vision, or for that type of plan that you have in place. So, every year I want to trade my car in. And you may not know it at that moment, but just doing your research and learning what options you may or may not have with that type of decision is always going to be best for you. Because I did not know there was an option to lease vehicles and, turn it in when it's beneficial for me, or, when the lease is up, go pick a different car, blase. I did not know about things like that. So as I became more financially sound, or I guess like car literate, because there's, a different lingo for everything. There's different like avenues and things that you have to learn with different things. So, with me just getting a new car almost every year, I didn't know the type of debt that was putting me in, right? Because every year, every car, you're going to have a payment. Every car, you're going to have an interest rate. Every car, there's going to be something that you owe on it, especially if it's brand new, you're driving it off the lot and you don't pay it off, right? So I got now 3 new cars, and I wasn't understanding the art or the process of depreciation. So as soon as you drive your brand new car with less, like, minimum miles to close to 0 miles on that brand new car, if you go get a brand new car, you might want to make sure that's the car that you stick with, because how much you're going to pay at the beginning of that brand new car is not going to be how much somebody values that car if you go to trade it in, sell it, whatever, right? So what I mean by that, on my latest one, I almost had just about $9,000 to $10,000 and negative equity that I had to roll over onto my brand new loan. I had so many problems in that Kia Sorento. If you have a Kia, if you love your Kia and it's never given you a problem, I love that for you. But for me, that Kia has given me problems almost from the year that I've had it. From a year, not even a year mark, I started having problems. From check engine light, from acceleration issues, from dashboard issues. Just everything was starting to become wrong with that vehicle. And it just had turned 2 years this year. So just with all of the issues that I had going on in that car, I just didn't feel safe and I didn't feel comfortable with having my brand new baby girl that will grace the world with her presence in 2026. I did not feel like that was the best vehicle for us to be in when she's born. When my baby gets here, I want to be in one of the best cars that I feel like is safe for the both of us, especially her, because if anything happens and I'm in the vehicle, okay, you know, I may be able to come back from some injuries that a newborn baby will not be. And so to me, it's very important that I feel safe in my vehicle, one, and two, that I have a safe vehicle to trust me and my baby in going to and from, right? So excuse me, like I said, I'm sick, still coming off of something, but I just don't understand when people see that we have to merge onto the highway. Why are you still going light speed of light up the side, like that we have to merge into? Like, get over, like, learn your lanes. But honestly, whatever. But at the end of the day, I decided that, you know, I need to get me a new car. I didn't want to give up having to be in an SUV because I love sitting up tall. I love being, you know, kind of like big on the road. But at the end of the day, what is best for me? Am I holding on to something because of, you know, status? Am I holding on to something because of the way I like to look or feel? Or am I doing something that is practical and safe for where I am and who I am in this moment? Right? So to me, when I realized you just want an SUV so you can have an SUV so you can feel bigger, so you can have more space. But do you truly need that space? Do you truly need to be bigger in this current moment in your life? And the answer is no. And so when I decided that that was just a want and what a need and not a need, and what I do need is for something to get me from point A to point B safely and hopefully last for more than a year or two without having, you know, hiccups, I decided to downgrade. In my mind, it's a downgrade because I'm going from an SUV, which I've had for years now, to a sedan that I have not been in as far as like owning and driving one every day myself for several years, since I've been in college, actually. So, you know what? I made a logical decision and I was like, what are my pros and my cons? There's no cons other than not being able to carry around big stuff. But what big stuff am I really hauling around 24/7 that I need an SUV or a truck? Nothing at all. The cons was that I was literally paying $900 for an SUV that was practically like almost out of there. Because I promise you, I've been taking that car to the dealership for the engine light for over a year and they don't know what is wrong with it. They're saying that, oh, you could pay $300 for us to see if this is the issue. If you don't know if this is the issue, I'm not flushing down $300. If you're saying that this is a misfire and you're clearing it every time I bring it in, clearly there's nothing pressing that needs to happen to this car, mechanical wise, for me to pay money out of pocket at all. Right? So, that the con. But at the end of the day, I was like, I know I'm going to be upside down on this truck. I'm like $10,000 upside down. I've been putting extra money towards the loan. But at the end of the day, I'm not clearing up $10,000 worth of negative equity. I'm just not. So I told myself, you need to find something that's going to be in the price range that you want it. Every SUV that I looked at is well over $40,000. And so when you tack on the negative equity that's on the vehicle that you have currently, that put me already at over $50,000 then I wanted to spend. I didn't want to spend any more than $45,000 as far as like closing costs, signing, and paying off. I did not want to pay anything over $45,000. So when I'm looking at cars that I actually want, right, vehicles, SUVs that I want and not technically need, I'm paying more than probably what I was paying on my last vehicle, just for me to drive it off the lot and depreciate all over again, putting me in even more debt, because what I'm financing is the current vehicle and the old negative equity, and I'm just giving myself even more negative equity just getting a new vehicle and driving it off the lot and depreciating even more, right? So the life lesson for me is figure out what you can handle right now, because at the end of the day, there is nobody telling you that you won't be able to get what you want down the road, down the line. It's just, what do you need right now to get you to the place to the places, or, to the goal that you want. I need something on 4 wheels that's going to get me from home to work, work to home, work home to doctor's appointments back home. I just need something to get me somewhere. That's not a motorcycle. That's not anything more or less than 4 wheels, right? So then I chose to start looking at sedans. Okay, now I'm looking for stuff that's going to keep me safe, be safe for my baby, make me feel comfortable. And I've been saying that I love my husband's car. I've loved my husband's car since we went to go look for it and we found it. Has more than enough room in the back and then some. So to me, it was like, okay, even though we don't need 2 of the same vehicles, we're about to have 2 of the same vehicles, because you can have your car, I can have my car, and by the time my baby girl is 6 or 7 years old, both cars will be paid off. Then we can, drive our paid off vehicles for however long we want to, however long it will run, until either she is ready to start driving herself, then we give her one of our cars, or until one of our cars decides to give out, right? And then we could go get the things we want. Then we could go get the pickup truck we want. Then we could go get the family SUV we want. Maybe we'll have 2 kids by then. Then we will need the size, right? But as I stand here, right here, right now, I do not need all that space. For what? To say that I have the space to haul big stuff around? I don't haul big stuff around day to day. I very rarely ever haul big stuff around. So what do you need currently in today's time? Not what do you want, right? So that's what I've been facing, currently. And like I said, you can see in the surrounding, I don't have my panoramic sunroof, but I have a sunroof, right? Be thankful and grateful for the things that you can have, and for the things that you can afford within your price budget, within your price range, without having to overexert yourself. I am paying almost $200 less than what I was paying on that SUV that was giving me hell and high water for a newer model, a newer vehicle, because now I have a 2025. The last one was a 2023 Kia Sorento. Now I have a 2025 Honda Accord, and it's a hybrid. And Hondas are known for lasting you a good while. So what was there to question? What was there to be, iffy about? Yes, I do want an SUV, but what do I need? I need a sedan that's in my price range. So one, I can probably pay it off quicker if I want to, but also it keeps my monthly debt low. So I just know that there's so many people that are in their life, like going through life right now, going through their daily motions, plain as simple as can be, not thinking about what they are holding on to in their life that is no longer serving them, no longer doing a service for them, but a disservice. And I am here to tell you, take inventory of your life, of your lifestyle. Figure out, are there things that you can condense? Are there things that you can reduce? Monthly expenses. Are there things that you can sacrifice to put yourself in a better spot in life? I am able to sacrifice having an SUV. If that means I am able to take the $200 that I was paying over on, my previous loan, now that I'm saving $200 on my car loan, I can put the $200 somewhere else, right? We just bought a house. I do not have the time to be putting out more money than I can afford. So that requires financial inventory. Whether you like it or not. A lot of people are not going to like it. But guess what? Change is uncomfortable. You don't need to like it to understand that it's probably the best option for you to get to where you truly want to be in life. But if you hold on to it and you don't get rid of it, or you don't do something about it, or if there is something there that you have yet to address, you are going to continue to be in a rotating cycle where you don't know what's going on, where you don't know where to start, where you don't know, what to give up. You have to take inventory and be honest and true with yourself. But if you are not being true with yourself, you're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose yourself. Because nobody else can convince you to give up something. Nobody else can convince you to do something that's best for you. Right? All day. You can want to do something all day, but it may not be the best for you. I'm trying to get this lock on here. I think I got it. Yeah, because this sun is super bright. But, at the end of the day, you're going to want to do stuff that you want to do, especially when you get to a new point in life where you're able to afford things that you may not have been able to afford previously. Because when I start looking back, I'm like, how did I get here? Because we have to take inventory on how we got there, right? We have to take note on how we got to a certain situation and how we can get ourselves out of it if we truly want to, right? And so when I think about it, I'm like, okay, every time I got a salary increase, every time I took a better job, I increased my debt as well. I'm going to be teaching my daughter, okay? When you take on more debt, you are preventing yourself from an endless opportunity of other things that you could have been doing with that more money, whether it's saving, whether it's putting it towards, some type of fund, something. You are cheating yourself out of other opportunities that you could have had to better your future because you wanted to improve your right now. Because I don't know if you wanted to prove something to yourself, prove something to others, right? Make sure you hold a certain status. Make sure you look a certain way on social media. All of these things are what influences our decisions, whether we know it or not, whether it's subconscious or conscious, at the forefront of your brain. So every time I took a new job, every time I took a better paying job, every time I got a salary increase, I increased my debt. Sometimes I think back and I just think to myself, which sometimes I say it's regret, other times I say that it's not, because it taught me what I know now. But I think back to my very first vehicle. That car note was $300 a month. Do you know how much money I would be saving had I just kept that car, paid it off? I'd be note free right now. And then I probably could have went and got my SUV. Okay? But because I did not take note of the situation that I was in and how much better of an option it was to just keep the vehicle I had then versus trading it out now, or trading it out then with the money that I have now, ooh, so much money saved, so much money, somewhere else that I could have actually used it for. Putting a fence up in my backyard Fences are expensive, apparently. Ranges from $5,000 to $7,000. Ooh, I'd hate to see how much it was to get my parents' fence installed, because they got a way bigger yard than I do. But when you know better, you do better. Stop holding on to things that are detrimental to you. Stop putting yourself in a further more detrimental place because you have the means to do so. Let's stop doing that. Because I feel like with black people, especially my black sisters and brothers, when we get the money, we want to flaunt it. Right? We want to go buy chains. We want to go buy this. We want to go buy clothes. We want to go buy, the latest thing out. But what is that doing for you? Nothing. Except for draining the money out of your pocket and giving it to people that, quite frankly, barely even have to do anything to earn that money from you. These are hard-earned American dollars that we earn each and every week, month, hour, however you get paid. I get paid salary, so it's definitely by the month for me. But if you're hourly, there are hard-earned dollars that you are earning on by the hour. And whether you take a new job that's paying you more or not, the money that you could have saved because you earned more money, you're spending that on stuff that barely had to do anything to convince you that it is worth spending your money on, your hard-earned money. So let's not be so quick to throw the money that we work so hard to get away. Right? So that is what that's where I am right now in life. I am trying to diminish my monthly debt that I decided to take on because I was not financially literate when I was making the decisions that I made in my past. And no, like I said, I will not call it regrets because I learned the lesson, and now I have, the lesson to cascade out to other people, to cascade down to my daughter. We always want our children to be in better spots financially, mentally, emotionally, better than we were at their age. And so if I have all this knowledge to give her a leg up, because there's no telling, there's probably some parents out there that don't know about this. There's probably some people out there that are not fluent in, the certain things and lessons that I'm learning. But that is what makes everybody's journey different. That is what makes everybody's journey unique. Because the life changes that you go through, the consequences from your actions that you have made, if you do not learn from them, you will be a victim to them again. And you are now going to condemn your offspring to those same life lessons. Because if I can prevent my child from having to learn this life lesson, that gives them something else to learn about. By themselves, let me say. Because I'm going to teach my daughter about this stuff. I'm going to give her a fair warning. Now, if she decides to go against my fair warnings, that's on her. But because I know about this, I'm going to tell her the best I can about what I know. That way, if she so deems to take what I have to offer, she can put herself in she can make the better decision instead of, I make more money, I can go get this car now. No. You make more money, how about you put more money towards your car that you're currently paying off now, and then get an even better car that you want in the future, or just work towards having something paid off that you don't have to owe anything monthly on, right? So, there's choices in everything that we do. There's options in every decision that we have. And so if you're not looking at the situation in its totality, you're going to make the wrong decision. I at no point decided that, this is going to be the best decision for me long term. I was thinking about what I wanted right here, right now. That is what I was doing. And so also with my parents being in my ear, you can do it. Go get you a new car. You got it. You can. I did not have anybody teaching me why I should hold on to something that was already doing the basic necessity that I needed it to do. I did not have that. So I'm going to give you guys that, and I'm going to give my daughter that. So, but yeah, so that's where I am currently. Like, I'm just trying to let go of any and everything that's holding me back from where I truly want to be, that I overcompensated on when I did not need to. Because we have to be truthful with ourselves. You did not need that $400 wallet. You did not need that $400 watch. You just need something that tells time and that holds your damn cards, money, and ID. Why'd you have to go spend $400 on a wallet? Why'd you have to go spend $400 on a watch? So I hope you guys get the message behind, what I'm trying to say, right? Because at the end of the day, I can't make anybody understand. The people that are ready to hear the message will hear exactly what I'm saying. The people that want to stay in delusion and stay in the lane that they are in, completely putting themselves in a detrimental state, not doing better for themselves, not looking for quarters to cut to save them money or put them in a better spot month over month, they're not going to hear the message that I'm trying to say, because you are not ready to hear what I am trying to say, right? So I could tell the same story to two people and they'll take it two completely different ways. So I'm trying to, educate you guys as I'm being educated and as I'm learning, because that is what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you what the underlying message is behind certain situations, because under every situation we go through, there could be a life lesson in that. Yeah, you could take my story at surface level and be like, oh, okay, find ways to save money every month. Find ways to, look for things that you're only paying more for because you wanted it. No, the underlying message truly is to stop putting yourself in worse situations because you have the means to do so. It may look good, it may sound good, but all things that glitter aren't gold. All right. So, message. Excuse me. The message, is to stop holding on to things that are doing damage to you in your life. Figure out how to be happy. I was not happy in that SUV. Every time I get in that SUV, I'm thinking, what's gonna go wrong when I drive it today? What's gonna happen as I roll out of my garage and onto the streets of Tennessee? When is this gonna happen? When is this gonna go off? Oh, the check engine light isn't on this time, but now I'm concerned because the check engine light has been on for over a year and nothing's been wrong. Now I'm concerned that there is something wrong because the check engine light isn't on. So figure out how to take stress out of your life. Figure it out. There are things that you are holding on to that you should have dropped. There's baggage that you should have dropped a long time ago, but because you held on to it, because you kept it with you as you grew, it hindered your growth even more. It's carrying you, is holding you back. It's not lightening your load, right? So find the things that are stressing you out. Figure out how to put yourself in the best situation possible in your life that you want to be in. Ooh, because I was tired of that $900 note for a car that I hate, that I've decided to get rid of, because I just was determined that I do not feel so. Every time I get in this car, there's something wrong. Every time that I think about this, I get a headache. Every time they tell me a new price tag for something else that I need to fix, I'm reluctant to fix it, because is this even going to work after I get this fixed? It hasn't worked this far. Let go. You will be so freed. You're so busy holding on to the things of the past. You're so busy holding on to the things that are familiar to you that you are missing out on a bigger and better blessing to your life and to those around you because of the new blessing. But I think I told you guys before, when I prayed for my man, I didn't know I was actually praying for him to come into my life. But I prayed to God, and I told him, I asked him, I said, please remove the things out of my life which are taking space that I no longer need. Please remove this person out of my life if they do not have any business being in my life. Please remove them if they are a distraction. Please remove them if I am losing the plot of life because I am trying to figure out my relationship with this one person and they are making it clear that they have no clue what they want to do with me. And in and of itself, that is an answer all alone. Please remove the things out of my life which have no business being there. And I promise you, like a month later, I'm on a cruise that I did not want to go on. I'm meeting a man that I did not know was going to be my husband at the end of, us meeting. And so as one person was removed, a new person was in place. And I'm not saying it's going to be that easy. I'm not going to say, just pray to God to remove this and then replace it with that. Because he can remove something all day. But are you letting go of it? Or are you playing tug of war with him? He's trying to take it, but you just so hell-bent that you just gotta have it. You just gotta have it. Right? So as I look back on it, there were several times he tried to remove that person from my life, but I wasn't ready to let go. So since you're going to be stubborn, I'll let you have it until you come back to me and ask me to release you from it, or for you to, that you're ready. I'm going to wait until you're ready to show me that you no longer want or need this. Because when I tried to get rid of it before, just showing you that this is no longer something or somebody that needed to be in your life, you didn't listen. So guess what? Now you got to reap the consequences of your choices. And that came with all the stuff that I had to go through after knowing that this person doesn't need to be in my life. But guess what? It's a lesson that I had to learn because I didn't let go the first time God told me to. So, like I said, ask him to remove the things that you no longer desire. But you have to be ready and willing to remove the things out of your life as well. He's not going to be able to do all the work for you. You have to come to the consensus that, no, I do not need this. I'm releasing. What the kids say now, 1, 2, 3, release them. Release it. He cannot do all the work for you. He's going to put the groundwork in for you, but it's going to be up to you to get yourself the remaining of the way to get across that finish line. He's going to give you the tools of what you need. It's how you use those tools that's going to be beneficial to you. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I really didn't know what I wanted to talk about at first, but as I started talking, which I've been adjusting this light since I'm in the, there we go, it's back in the middle, since I'm in the car and the sun, whatever, if you're watching. But I really didn't know what I really wanted to talk about today. I have a few things that I jotted down as I've been on like a break for the podcast. So those will definitely get talked about as well. But you guys, be prepared at the end of the year. We are going to reflect on the year to come, the year that has, we're going to reflect on the year that has been, that has passed. And then we're going to, kind of set our sights on what we want to accomplish in 2026. I've been thinking about doing 2026 a little differently than I did 2025. And what I mean by that is, at the end of 2024, I put together a big old board of everything I wanted to accomplish in 2025. And, we talked about it at the end of every month of what we accomplished in that month and what we want to accomplish in the next month, what we're going to do to get to the next step, next goal if we didn't accomplish something, things like that. But I don't know. We accomplished so much this year as far as like getting a house, getting pregnant, getting engaged, doing all of these things, paying off our cars multiple times, that I don't know how I want to do 2026, but I know I don't want to do it the same exact way as 2025. I did see a lot of success in the bingo board this year. that I've never done before. And I feel like once you start to stick with something, you may be missing out on a different method that may be more beneficial for you. And so what I did see, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to rebrand myself in 2026. I'm going to rebrand. What does that mean? What does that look like? So I don't know if I'm going to do a vision board and a proof board, which a proof board that I learned recently is proof that you've accomplished what you said you wanted to accomplish in that year, right? And so what is the proof that you have to show that this is what you've accomplished? And I'm all for it, because y'all know what I say, I love to keep track of what we accomplished, because that'll continuously boost our confidence in ourselves, in the ability that we have to do certain things. So I'm all for a proof board. So I don't know, I'll have to think a little bit more on that. Like I said, I'm not doing a life and goals update here right now. We'll probably wait until the last week of December. But yeah, I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm gonna think about it, and you guys know I'll be open and transparent with you guys. I want to say that I wore my short hair out for the first time in a very long time to my nail appointment, like just out and about in general in public. So I want to give myself kudos for that, because I just have not been confident in my hair since cutting it all off. And I think this is the first time you guys have seen it cut off. But it has grown out a lot from the first time I cut it off back in, I want to say May or June. Yeah, either May or June. I chopped it like a lot, like more than this. It was like even shorter. But obviously I have some shrinkage going on. But yeah, you guys, so there's just been a lot of stuff that, I've just been recognizing in myself. And sometimes it takes other people to say something to you as well. Because my husband, y'all know in almost every episode I'm saying something about my husband, and really that is my biggest fan. Like, let me not say fan, he is my biggest supporter, right? Like, I support him, he supports me. But some of the things that I think I'm more confident in or more fluent in, he shows me a different way about myself, that I'm not as confident or sound in something than I thought I was. And so I loved my hair when it was long. I loved my hair when, it was down my shoulders and whatnot. But I damaged my hair so much. I'd rather let something go, like I've been talking about in this episode. I'd rather let something go than hold on to it and it do more detriment to my health. And in this case, the health to my hair. Because us girls, we know, the longer you hold on to those split ends, those dead ends, whatever you want to call them, the more you hold on to damaged hair, it's going to damage even more up the shaft of your hair. And so to me, I was like, it'll grow back. I'll be okay. I've always wanted to cut my hair. And then I actually did it. And I was like, oof, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But, my husband, my black girls, get you a man who really, genuinely, truly likes black women. Okay? Not just how we look and how we carry ourselves, but our hair. Our hair is our biggest crown. Our heaviest crown too. Because there's so much trauma around a black girl's hair that sometimes we don't know how to start healing that trauma unless somebody else helps us heal it. I have no trauma in my hair. There are some girls that's scared to cut a centimeter off of their hair when they need a badge, like when they truly need a trim, because there's so much stigmatism and trauma around black girls cutting their hair or trimming their hair. You damage your hair further because it's traveling up and doing more damage than just letting it go. You're holding on to the baggage because of what you know and what you're accustomed to. And you know that it's doing more damage than good because you're trying to prioritize length over health. But at the end of the day, that's just going to cause even more hair needing to come off. So I bit the bullet. I didn't care. Hell, I said, chop it off. Hell, I chopped it off my damn self. And my husband, the other day after I was doing my hair routine, because I do wash my hair every week, he was like, why don't you wear your real hair? I just love your hair. And he always has loved my hair. And he is somebody, he loves my hair and any hairstyle that I get, but he really loves when I wear my natural hair. He doesn't like the sew-ins. He doesn't like the wigs. You know, he tolerates the braids, but he doesn't like the braids. He loved when I had my locks, but he just loves my natural hair, period. And so that's what I mean when I say black girls, get you a black man that truly loves you for who you are. Because there's a lot of black men out here that want the black girl, but want, you know, other race features. Oh, she just has to have long and luxurious curly hair. Has to have long and straight hair. Oh, since you don't have that genetically, get you a sew-in. I'll pay for it. Do this, I'll pay for it. Trying to change you and make you into somebody that you truly are not deep down. Because at the end of the day, when you guys have offspring, it's going to be based off your genetics, not what you're able to put on top. So, yeah, I know I talked a little bit longer than what I wanted to. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much for listening, being here, tuning in, staying if you stayed into the end of this podcast episode. Thank you so much for sticking through with me, because I know I have not been consistent whatsoever. You know, I missed 2 weeks just being down sick and having life stuff go on. But, you know, we're all human. And, you know, I think before that, I wasn't posting faithfully on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. So, like I said, we are human. There's stuff that we want to set deadlines for ourselves, but, you know, other things in life have a different plan for us. But this episode, I'm going to upload on Wednesday. I've been thinking about changing my days as well. I think another factor is that my husband is at home now. So, you know, I kind of get nervous with him being there and trying to record for the podcast and stuff like that. That I just want like a secluded spot, which is why I really need my podcast area to be set up sooner rather than later. So right now, that's why I've been, you know, when I have a long drive, let me just record on the drive, and stuff like that. But, you know, I'll make it a point before the end of the year to at least have an episode recorded where I've recorded in the house, regardless if he's there or not. So, yeah, you guys, and maybe I'll have him on an episode. I really just need to figure out the mics, honestly. Because this one, I have one receiver mic and then this mic. So I'd really need to see like if I can get other wireless mics and get it to connect to the same receiver, or, you know, kind of go to the same receiver. But we'll see. That's something for me to figure out. So I can have, you know, guests on the podcast, because I want to have guests. I want you guys to see other people and get you know, life looks and perspectives from other people other than just me. So yeah, you guys, but I love you guys. I'll hopefully see you all next week on Tuesday, or no, audio should be Tuesday, and visual is obviously Wednesdays at 5 p.m. I have not been missing that mark. But yeah, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection, it's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.